figures presentation by Ikeja Hotels Plc. The fact behind the figures is a platform introduced by the Nigerian Stock Exchange to allow issuers engage with the capital markets community. And we're very pleased to be hosting Ikeja Hotels Plc for this one. Just before we get started, I would like to introduce some of the guests that we have, both from the NSE team and also from Ikeja Hotels PLC team. I'll start by introducing the CEO of Ikeja Hotels PLC, Mr. Theophilus Natofo. He's been here recently, and we are very pleased to welcome you today too. Thank you so much for joining today, sir.
Thank you.
Yeah, I would also like to introduce the Cluster General Manager Nigeria from Marriott Hotel International, Mr. Rex Najoff. I'm sorry if I murdered that name, but thank you for joining us today.
Thank you.
Yes. So from the NSE team, I would like to recognize the Divisional Head of Listings Business, Mr. Olumide Bolmole, who is hosting the team from Ikeja Hotels PLC today. Thank you so much for joining us today, sir.
Thank you, Toby.
Promises to be very exciting and very interactive. So please, if you have questions regarding numbers and anything that you want the team from Ikeja Hotels PLC to address, please feel free to drop them on the Q&A chat box, or even just use the chat box. My name is Toby Oyewole. I work at the corporate communications at the Nigerian Stock Exchange. I would now like to invite Mr. Olumide Bolmole, the Divisional Head.
Good afternoon, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. Toby, I'm just going to kick off, but you sort of tailed off at the end. Good afternoon, everyone. It gives me great pleasure to welcome you all to today's Facts Behind the Figures presentation. On behalf of the Council and management and staff of the Nigerian Stock Exchange, as well as the entire capital market community, I commend the board and management. We are delighted that Ikeja Hotels PLC has chosen to use this forum to communicate its financial results and its strategic and operational developments to the investment community. Given that accurate, accessible, and timely information is essential to stimulate market activity, your continued interaction with investors and the capital market ecosystem is important to ensure a reasonable flow of relevant information to the market. In spite of the COVID-19 pandemic, the NSE recognizes efforts by the board and management of Ikeja Hotels PLC to enhance its operations, promote business continuity, and restore investor confidence. The exchange also commends the company's efforts in curbing the spread of COVID-19 through its recent interventions and donations to support national efforts aimed at cushioning the effect of the pandemic on the Nigerian populace. We also commend the company for adopting global cleanliness and safety standards using COVID-19 protocols for the well-being of their employees and guests. At the Nigerian Stock Exchange, we continue to provide a platform to support listed companies in meeting their strategic business objectives, as demonstrated in the 1 trillion naira raised by governments and corporates across various asset classes this year. This reinforces our commitment to supporting issuers with tailored financing options and sustainable capital formation to aid growth of business and position them to compete in the regional and global economies. As an exchange, we will continue to position ourselves as the African exchange of choice for issuers and investors by implementing policies aimed at strengthening the corporate governance of our listed companies and providing products that are aligned to investors' requirements in a fair and orderly market. The Nigerian Stock Exchange also continues to remain resilient in recent times, leveraging various digital platforms and innovative technology to ensure business continuity and uninterrupted dissemination of information to the market. Our technology platforms and transition to complete digital trading has supported our dealing members in trading remotely. This has facilitated enhanced market confidence and increased trading activity on the floor of the exchange. Despite the pandemic, the market capitalization of the NSE All-Share Index at the close of trading on Friday, December 4th, stood at 18.36 trillion naira, along with a year-to-date index return of 30.91%, as investors turn to equities amid low interest rates. We continue to engage with various stakeholders, including government, policymakers, and capital market operators on notable opportunities for the development of the capital market and provide thought leadership on efficient ways to aid the ease of doing business in our nation. These engagements support the NSC's advocacy efforts in ensuring positive impact to the private sector and, more importantly, quoted companies. Recently, the Nigerian Stock Exchange collaborated with the Principles of Responsible Investment to host a webinar themed around challenges and opportunities of responsible investing. We also partnered with the Nigerian Governors Forum and the Nigerian Investment Promotion Commission to host leading private and public sector officials at a webinar focused on privatization of state-owned enterprises. As part of our corporate social responsibility activities this year, the exchange launched the Nigeria to Equal program, a strategic partnership between the exchange and the IFC, aimed at reducing gender-related employment and entrepreneurship gaps in Nigeria. We encourage Ikeja Hotels Plc to continue to strive for sustainability by adhering to the highest standards of disclosure and corporate governance. It is our belief that with our ever-changing macroeconomic and social environment, this will position the organization to attain deeper social impact, higher regulatory compliance, and more importantly, greater return to shareholders. We thank you, the invited guests, for your presence today and encourage you to participate fully during this interactive session. Ladies and gentlemen, we now invite Ikeja Hotels Plc to make their presentation. Thank you.
Thank you, Lumile. The CEO, members of the council, and the management team of NSC, the doyen of the capital market, Alhaji Yusuf, distinguished stockbrokers, members of the board of directors of Ikeja Hotels Plc, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank you for coming for this program. And I must express my gratitude to the NSC for giving us this opportunity to present the facts behind the figures, especially as a giant in the hospitality industry, as to how we find ourselves where we are and the efforts we are making to rebound and take our position as the flagship of the hospitality business in Nigeria. I know, going by our performances, especially as at the top quarter of this year, the COVID-19 pandemic has really struck us down. But I must express that we have learned our lessons from the effect of COVID-19 by our professionalism, competencies, and the experience we have in this sector. We have put measures in place to ensure that we continue to make optimal and adequate returns to our shareholders. Let me quickly share my screen with you so that we can go through the slides as we explain. So I think we can see the slide. Sorry. Now let me take.
Please.
Okay.
Yes, please go ahead, sir.
Very good. So let me take you to page 4. That's why we have our vision and mission, but I don't want to waste much time there because I need to explain figures. The next page, page 5, we have our core values, guest satisfaction, highly motivated associates, and so on and so forth. That's the bedrock of our success in this industry. Number 6, we have our overview of the industry. The outlook of the industry, that's the industry overview, what is happening in the economy aside the periodic review, even up to the time we are talking now. We look at the trends. The hotel business as one of those that are contributing to the GDP of Nigeria. But for some time now, the effect of COVID-19 had really had an adverse effect on the contribution to revenue. For example, overall revenue in Nigeria rose to 7.4% in 2018 from 1.99%, principally reflecting 28% point of a turnaround. But today, because of COVID-19 and non-opening of the international flights, even when we see some of them are still flying, not every businessman wants to come and do business for now because of the upsurge and because of non-availability and effective distribution of the vaccine for COVID-19. And this has put hospitality business in a lull as we speak. Also, the industry review, accommodation, food services to nominal GDP in 2020 have gone down. Especially when we look at Q1, Q2, Q3 in 2020, all contributions, indices, and matrices from the sector is adverse, is negative. And some of this information we got from Pricewaterhouse Research and also the Nigerian Bureau of Statistics. Now I want us to quickly go to page 11, which is the profile of the company, Ikeja Hotels Plc, owner of Lagos Sheraton Hotel and Abuja. It's a household name. We are the flagship of hospitality business in Nigeria. We are well known, and we have been in business, and we have been doing very well until the pandemic struck. Now we move to page 14, Board of Directors, our corporate governance structure. We have a board of 8 members made up of shared by our chief, Anthony Idigbe, SAN. And we also have 4 board committees. We have the statutory committee chaired by Mr. Abacha Bulama, FCA, is a non-executive director. Nomination Executive Governance Committee chaired by Mrs. Fadeke Olugbemi, FCA, non-executive director. We also have Finance, Risk, and General Purpose Committee chaired by Mr. Abacha Bulama. And of course, the board is chaired by the chairman, Chief Anthony Idigbe. And I want to put on record here that meetings are held regularly, corporate governance issues are discussed and well complied with, returns to statutory agencies are made timely. So the era of default or penalty has become history in the Ikeja Hotels Plc. So the next page, page 15, how our milestone, how we evolved from 1972 to 1980 to 1985 to 1991, and eventually where we are today, where Ikeja Hotels Plc as a group has provided about 366,000 rooms per night, rooms night for hospitality business in Nigeria. In page 16, we have our asset. We own Lagos Sheraton Hotel, it's our operation 100%, and the company owns Abuja Sheraton 51%. And also, we're a core investor in Toy Company of Nigeria, that is the Federal Palace, 12.8%. That makes us a solid hospitality giant with presence in Federal Capital and Lagos, which is the major commercial city of the most popular Black city in Africa. So the next page, 17, our operating environments. Undoubtedly, inflation is not helping the matter. The country is in economic recession officially. Even before now, we have had, and this is also indicated that Nigeria economy was in recession as far back as a year ago. We have problem of insecurity because hospitality business is highly sensitive to insecurity. Any act of violence, wherever it's happening, will scare people from coming to the hotel. Then we have poor infrastructural facilities. I mean, national infrastructural facilities, bad roads, bad communication. All these affect business for hospitality sector. It affected it adversely. It discourages people from coming to the hotel. As a matter of fact, people come to the hotel because they have business to do. If they are not doing their business, people in the oil sector, people in mining sector, people in aviation, all kinds of sector, if they don't have a place to sleep, to stay, they will not do business. So hospitality facilitates the running of other businesses. So as long as one industry is affected, eventually the hospitality business becomes a casualty. Then the high exchange rate is not helping matters because most of our guests are international guests. So when they are not coming as a result of unstable exchange rates, it eventually affects us. Then there's oil issue. We have problem with oil. All the nations of the world are running away from oil. They are changing to gas, but Nigeria, we still have oil. We still pay attention to oil, and I don't think we are doing enough to move out of oil economy. And unfortunately, that economy is a mono economy to us. And as we continue to do that, it will continue to affect all sectors of our economy adversely. Let me quickly refer you to page 21, where we have the key financial highlights, income statement. Here, I want to do a comparison of our performances in year ended December 2019 and that of 2018. Our revenue is 12.5 billion in 2019 as per audited account. It came down from 13.2 billion. Cost of sales, 8.9 billion. It came down from 9.5 billion. Our gross profit in 2019 year end was 3.5 billion, coming down from 3.6 billion. Now, administrative expenses, 2.1 billion in 2019 as against 1.9 billion in 2018. And at the end of the day, we have as our part, profits after tax, as 834.9 million, coming from 1.1 billion. A deficit or negative of 24.4%. So you will observe that all these figures were having marginal decrease. The reason for this was that 2018 was a beautiful year for us, but 2019, there was a federal election that was scheduled for February, and this election was postponed. So because of general apprehension and fear of violence, many people kept away from the hotel. Excuse me. So since the first quarter of 2019, we didn't have guests in the hotel. As a matter of fact, international guests who have made reservation, they started to cancel their bookings because they felt Nigeria election will not be fair and free and there will be violence. And this took us up to second quarter until the president was sworn in, and months after, then the business started to pick up. So from quarter 3 in 2019, business started to pick up, and they were doing very well even to the end of the year. And we carried that to the beginning of 2020. But before that, I want to say that in 2019, rooms contributed 62.2% to the total revenue, while F&B and others contributed 33.2% and 1.6% respectively. Then rooms declined by 0.9% over 2018 performance, while F&B also declined 2.8% over same period. I've just explained it's because of the fear of the election. So going forward, we have for 2019, our total asset, which stood at 38.6 billion as against 37.8 billion same period in 2018. Our non-current asset, 23.4 billion, coming from 21.7 billion, and current asset, 15.2 billion, coming from 15 billion, coming down from 16 billion. Then our total liabilities was 19.3 billion as a year in 2019 and 19.3 billion in 2018. Total current liabilities, 9.3 billion and 9.2 billion respectively. Total current liabilities, 9.9, coming down from 10 billion. And shareholders fund as at year end 2019 was 19.3 billion, coming down from 18.4 billion. We observed that in spite of the fact that there was marginal decrease in performances, our asset base was still rising up because of asset receivable. Then for 2020 actual and 2020 budget, we have up to Q3, that is as at September ending. We have budget we have actual for 2020 for 9 months. We compare with the budget for 9 months, and we also have their budget for 1 year, what we expected to achieve. For example, revenue budgeted for 9 months, the quarter was 8.3 billion. Unfortunately, we're able to achieve 3.6 billion. Sorry. So we're able to reach 3.6 billion. Now, cost of sales, 3.5 billion, coming down from 5.8 billion at 40%. Margin was 71.5 million, coming from 2.5 million, that's deficit. And administrative and other expenses was 1.7 million actual, coming down from 1.474 million budget. So that's an adverse of 21%. Other income, 332 million, coming down from 392 million. EBITDA, 107,903, negative, coming from 1.4 billion that was budgeted. So at the end of the day, our profit after tax was a loss of 1.4 billion as against 526.8 million that was budgeted as profit for the quarter. And what was budgeted for the whole year of 2020 was 876 million. That would have been our net profit at the end of the year. But unfortunately, and very unfortunately, because of COVID-19, because the hotel had to be under lock and key because of the lockdown brought about by COVID-19 pandemic, rather than for us to close the hotel permanently, we decided to keep some in-house guests who have been there before, and the company had to be running and spending fixed costs. The variable costs were saved, but the fixed cost could not be avoided. The option was to have closed the hotel. But if we ventured to close the hotel, by the time the pandemic was over or eased, then the cost of reopening the hotel could be comatose. So the management decided, with the advice of the board and our operator, that we should keep the hotel running and be managing the cost. So that was what actually catapulted the loss to 1.4 billion. This loss was not sustained because of mismanagement. It was not sustained because the management of the board did not have the vision or lack of proper management, it happened because of unexpected COVID-19 that befell the whole world, and it came unexpectedly. Nobody prepared for it, and the ravage happened. But now we have learned our lessons, and being an experienced, highly professional and competent organization in the area of hospitality management, we have put measures in place to ensure that we get out of this loss and reverse it in a no distant future. So I want us to go to page 6. At page 6, we want to review our financial ratios. Our financial ratio, working capital ratio 1.5% in 2019. Gross profit margin was 28.6%. Our return on capital employed 2.9%. Asset turnover ratio 3.1%. Earnings per share, that's 40 kobo. And Jerry, I want to state here that with the inauguration of the new board in May 2017, the board directed that all the money that the company owed to bank should be paid off. And this was very, very commendable. We paid off, and since then, Ikeja Hotels is not indebted to any bank or any financial institution. So it's debt-free. So we said here that Ikeja Hotels Plc funds its operation and project from internally generated revenue and reserves. The hotel is not indebted to any bank or financial institution. So from the above company, we can say that the company is a zero year because it's not owing to any bank or financial institution. But we have to say, because one of our mantras now is disclosure and transparency. So Ikeja Hotel has some loan figure in the books, in our financial statement. But the fact is that those loans were given to the company by the shareholders. So they are related party loans. And one of the conditions there that may not qualify as loan is that the stamp says these loans are payable whenever. So there are no strict agreements, there were no review, there were no communications in the loan were given. So we believe that, and above all, it's also subject to forensic audit commissioned by SEC. And SEC, we are expecting that report from SEC anyone from now. So when they come up with the result, with the report, then we will restructure the balance sheet, and that will reflect the true position of things in line with transparency policy of our company. So quickly, we'll go to page 28. I don't want to waste much time here. It's our milestone, how we started, how we are today, and where we are going. We thank by the grace of God, having Ikeja Hotels Plc, owning Lagos Sheraton Hotel, year 2002, there was a strategic investment of 51% of Capital Hotel Abuja Sheraton, and also we took a Federal Palace Hotel owned by TCN, also there, and we expect sooner than later, where the company settles and we're able to raise money and refurbish our hotel and turn it around, we tend to make presence in the South. So this company is a company for the future. It's a promising company, and we believe we will get there because our best is around the corner, though it's yet to come, but we expect it to come soon. So we want to go to page 30, where we have our award. This company has won several awards internationally and even domestically. This was award we won last year in 2018 and 2019 respectively, and there are plethora of awards coming every day because of our service. We have seen people leaving our hotel to other hotel for one complaint or the other. Within 2-3 days, they come back and they declare to us that our hotel is the best. And we continue to win this award as we continue to improve in our services to our guests. Then the outlook for the future outlook. We are moving forward by the grace of God. In the next 3 years, we hope to increase our revenue 8.7 in 2021 to 10.1 and to 12 billion in 2023. Our operating expenses 6.6, 6.6, and 8.6. And thereabout, we plan as God will help us and we also help ourselves, we intend to achieve a profit of a loss of 527 in 2021 and a profit of 707 million in 2022 and the profit of 1.2 billion in 2023. We know how to go about it. We want to ensure that this year, 2020, we reduce significantly the loss of 1.4 billion to something like maybe 600, 700 million. And we are very pessimistic. Otherwise, we could have done something, but we believe that in 2020, top quarter of 2021, we hope to have cleaned up the loss and move to profit. So all things being equal, we feel that the company is hopeful to reverse the impact of COVID-19 and move the company forward. We believe the COVID-19 is still around, especially we are hearing of another second surge, but with strategic management of the company. And we also believe that if government is able to develop the vaccine and distribute the vaccine, company cannot continue to grow under the effect of COVID-19. Business must resume. It's a global system. So I don't believe, we don't believe that a disease can tie the company down. So as soon as the economy continue to flourish again, our business will also continue to flourish. So business, our real plan for turnaround, not to waste too much time, as the time is not in our favor. Hospitality business industry is the worst hit, we know that, but we are making effort to move out, to get out of it. We have several strategic plans to get out. We have our business plans. We want to ensure that we restore investor confidence in our company. We want positive public perception for our company. We want to expand our backward facility to generate additional income. We want to engage internal and external resources to deliver optimal returns to our shareholders. Our other business plans also include cost control and cost reduction. Is the way to go now. We want to reduce costs as much as possible. We want to invest in human capital development and information technology to drive efficiency and productivity. We want to be engaged seriously on corporate social responsibility. We want to be involved in sound corporate governance. There's no way to go. Corporate governance, best practices, and also transparency, so that will give us confidence. With confidence, we know we'll move mountains. Our marketing plans include, I'm taking it back to page 17, aggressive, specialized, and digital marketing efforts. We are focusing on creating new domestic demand rather than to rely on business travelers from abroad. We want to also develop domestic market, which we're already working on. Marriott is working on that. We also plan special rates for corporate. We don't want people, companies, corporations, government to go elsewhere. We want them to patronize us. If we need to cut rate, we do. Want to conduct media and special social media handle. Want to deploy various handles to create and increase our sales and revenue for the hotel. Lastly, we also want to appraise and retool our risk assessment and risk evaluation apparatus to mitigate risk. We want to strategically be involved in directing the company to continue to retain its prime position. We want to pride ourselves as the flagship of the hospitality and tourism business and company in Nigeria. We want to have technology plan, that is to develop our latest technology we have abroad in Europe and America, where people can even use their phone to check in and get their room open and enter. So we have strategic plan, but I don't want to continue so that I don't waste too much time because of the limitation of time. There's one plan that we keep to our chest, and that plan is what we call customer experience. Customer experience, page 40. So maybe by the time we finish and there are questions, or maybe we'll have individual discussions with stockbrokers, with potential investors, we will now elaborate on what customer experience is. Then we need to emphasize on COVID-19 pandemic protocol. The company is fully compliant with Nigerian Center for Disease Control and World Health Organization protocol on the virus. The company is also involved in introducing measures, and we are configuring our hotels to comply with social distancing and other hygiene to create clean environment to make our hotel and our guests virus free. In any way, we don't want to put our guests in any form of jeopardy. We're ready to spend to ensure that guests are there and they are well and they are safe in our hotel. And lastly, our concern, we place premium on full regulatory and statutory compliance. No, in our company, we have zero tolerance for default. And we've been doing this since the inauguration of the board in 2017, and we continue to pay more attention on that so that we do not fail. And next, ladies and gentlemen, we have our contact, Ikeja Hotels Plc. That's the name of the company. Our operation is Lagos Sheraton Hotel, 30 Mobolaji Tony Way. And our asset is also in Abuja. That's the Sheraton Hotel Abuja, the Kwale Hall Street, where wherever you go there, then you're also patronizing us. Well, thank you so much. And then we believe that this little presentation will help to explain that when it comes to hospitality business in Nigeria, Ikeja Hotel remains number one. Why? Because we have the professionalism, we have the competencies, we also have the experience. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Netufo, for that presentation. So just to let us know, please, you can drop your question using the Q&A chat box, and Mr. Netufo will be here to answer them. But a couple of questions, just session. You spoke about the spike in, the second spike of COVID-19 pandemic, and what that will literally mean for the hospitality business. So this person is asking that in specifics, what is Ikeja Hotels? What are you doing to ensure that this doesn't hit just as bad as the first wave of COVID-19?
Can I answer that now?
Yes, please go ahead.
Okay. I think there's no basis for us to be afraid, to have any fear, because the first one came unexpectedly. But this one, we are used to it, and we have put strategic measure in place. So we don't pray it continues. Even if it happens, we are coping. We are coping, and we ensure that it does not have any devastating effect on our revenue again. So no cause for fear at all. It's under control.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir. So another question from here is saying that you spoke about some expansion that you're looking to do, as a business. So looking to diversify away from, majorly hospitality business and venture into other things. This person is asking that specifically, what are the things or the factors that drove your decisions towards the choice of aspect of business that you're expanding into going forward?
Basically, I will say passion and returns. Passion and returns. And any company that's what is sought must continue to evolve, to develop. If it doesn't develop, it will be overtaken and left behind. We don't want to be left behind. We want to move forward. As we have said, we are number one. We still want to remain number one. We want to control the industry and want to dominate that industry. Whatever it takes us, we have it. And that's our experience and competencies, which nobody can take from us. Thank you.
Okay. Your answer would probably lead us into this next one. Your answer about your passion, having to retain your leadership position within the market and all is going to lead me to this next question. So this person is asking about your appeal to the younger generation. The fact that, we have a very wide population of young people in Nigeria currently. So the question is about what are you doing specifically to ensure that they are a very huge and important part of your business? You appeal to them in the ways that you go about communicating your business offerings, just to onboard the younger generation who seem to have a lot more, power, spending power. They have the numbers going on for them so that you can maximize it for your business.
Like Olumide said, or maybe somebody else, not Olumide, about non-discriminatory policy. Ikeja Hotels Plc has no discriminatory policy on the basis of age. As a matter of fact, we encourage the youth, even more than everybody. If you go to our hotel, the staff you'll find there are mostly young people, not adults. If you go to the other client abroad, you'll see people serving in the restaurant, some of them over 70, over 80. But when you come to our hotel, you come to Sheraton Hotel, it's young people, and we train them, we encourage them. For example, the visionary of that hotel started at the age of 20-something. And today, by the grace of God, it's over 70-something. And so he has created a legacy. So we encourage the youths not only to continue to look for money, but they should also be involved. They should take risk. They should take up business. They should take up challenge. They should not look for quick money, but entrepreneurial skill and be ready to do it. So that if they can learn on the job, but this is the opportunity for the young ones, because there's a limit the elderly ones can go, as well as far as hospitality business is concerned. Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you very much, Mr. Netufo, for those answers. I have some more questions here. This one is particularly, maybe I just lump this one together, talking about how you want to stay ahead of the game. I heard you say repetitively that you are the leader in the hospitality business and all, but this person is asking, what specific measures are you putting in place to promote your business right now? Since the advent of COVID-19, it's not been business as usual. Businesses have had to dig deep to look at how best do we connect with our people, how best do we, reach out to them. So this person wants to know in specific terms what you're doing at Ikeja Hotels Plc to promote the business, to put it out there, and ensure that you actually truly stay ahead of the game, not just just in words or by title, but in your product offerings and in the way that you actually also connect with your stakeholders.
Yeah, thank you very much. One thing I want us to know is that Ikeja Hotels Plc has strengths that others may not have. Like I used to say repetitively that we have the professionalism, we have the experience, we have the competency. Ikeja Hotel is fortunate to be, the asset is being managed by Marriott Hotel International. Marriott Hotel International is one of the best hotel management company in the whole world. One of the best. And Marriott Hotel is in Nigeria on our platform. We brought them to Nigeria and they are still very much there. You see the cluster general manager now. Maybe there's time you can give opportunity at least to address the stockbrokers or the market. So we have an international brand, a premium international brand. And we also have a dynamic board led by no other person than Chief Anthony Idigbe-San, who is an active player in the capital market and in business generally. So the board is not a board you can just take for. It's not an ordinary board. They know what they are doing. They are visionary, they are strong, they are dynamic, they are knowledgeable, and they are modern. So when we combine the strength of our board with the strength of our management, sky is our limit. For other strategies, Maybe they should just pardon me for that because we don't want to expose everything now. When time comes, we'll be releasing them gradually, and they'll be even seeing it through our results, which will continue to avail the capital market. So we are not just talking, we know what we are saying. We have the strength, we have the backing, and we have the people doing the work for us. Marriott International, find out after this meeting, they are #1 in the world. If not #1, they are one of the best in the world when it comes to hotel management. So we are not a local company. We are not competing with local companies. We are an international company by virtue of Marriott managing our hotel. So it's a plus for us. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. I have another question here, and this is also very closely related to the one that you just answered, and it's still speaking about how you're trying to expand the market, really. So this person is asking that there are a lot of island resorts springing up all over Nigeria. Are we going to see any from Ikeja Hotels Plc soon? What's the plan? What's the plan, really?
Hopefully, yes. Because as of today, the company is developing strategic business plan, which will address those areas. We were there before, only that we could not conclude, but definitely it's an area to revisit in our plans that we will launch in year 2021. Thank you. And I wouldn't know, sir, whether you allow Mr. Rez, who is the cluster general manager of Marriott, to have a word.
Yes, please.
The value of our
yes, please.
Thank you.
Yes, please. Mr. Rex, please. The floor is yours now. You can, make your remarks.
Thank you, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. All protocols observed to keep it short. It's a pleasure for us to be attending this session this afternoon. Great to have all of you virtually here with us. I think first and foremost, we want to say that we don't have to meet virtually because our hotels are open. Operations are running, and as Mr. Nitufo has explained in the conversation earlier, we have revised our cleaning protocols. We've implemented new measurements to make sure that you can visit the Sheraton Lagos, Sheraton Abuja safely. I think that's the most important. We do see an upside of the business. We've gradually, after the lockdown earlier this year, we've gradually seen domestic flights resuming again. Subsequently, a few months later, the international flights have slowly but surely started resuming bit by bit. And by now, most of the airlines are flying back to Nigeria. We do see that impact on the business as well. We've seen business recover. Of course, there's a lot to recover, but we do see a positive side of the recovery. And the recovery is actually surpassing our initial forecast. So we are very happy to report on that. I may tie into one of the earlier questions. The question was, how do we engage the young people? I believe next to a group of staff members, you can also see if you visit Sheraton Lagos Hotel, Sheraton Abuja Hotel, that our target audience is also a mix of generations, and we do see quite a lot of young people as well. Nowadays, our promotional efforts predominantly run through digital media, social media. So we are active on the platforms like Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. This has overtaken print media in form of advertising. So that's the way we do reach out. Very happy, of course, as a representative of Marriott International, to also underline what Mr. Nitufo aptly said is Marriott is one of the leaders in travel, predominantly in hospitality, but we do have the vision to be the #1 hospitality and the #1 travel company. And you see also, if you follow, and I think very relevant for the audience here today, talking about from a platform of stock market, you can see also that the confidence is there, the international confidence is there. If you follow just the stocks of Marriott International, which are listed at NASDAQ, we came from a high, $153 and above. We went down to $46 at the start of the pandemic, but we've recovered and we've had a recent high of almost $136 again. So I think that shows the implementation of protocols because of COVID, reshaping, reorganizing, and the future strategies going forward. And we do that very happily together with Ikeja Hotels Plc, as we do it at many other places around the world.
Thank you very much for your remarks.
Thank you, sir.
Mr. Rex. Yes, thank you very much. I would now want to invite the doyen of the market, Alhaji Yusuf, to also make a few remarks.
Doyen, you're muted, sir.
I say thank you very much. I say I'd like, on behalf of the dealing member of Nigerian Stock Exchange and the Nigerian Stock Exchange management, welcome you once more to this afternoon fact behind the figure of your operations. I particularly want to thank Mr. Tio Eniola Nitufo for the presentation he has made. The last time you were with us, we did make mention of the fact that the best thing for you to do is, whether you are facing challenges or whether you are doing very well, keep the market informed. And I think by your coming here this afternoon, that is what you are already doing. And I applaud you for that. The market applaud you for that. Yes. We have also, in listening to you, taking note of several things, among which are the passion with which your organization, you repeatedly said, would like to control the domestic market. And that, yeah, 2020 had been a very challenging year for you. You have not been able to perform according to your plan at the beginning of the year, but that you are not necessarily deterred by that. And if anything, you are determined to turn the table around. I think that's a very good message to the market. And you are not just saying it, you also said that you have a business plan for turning the fortune around. And one thing that I also think the market will be very well received is the fact that you said that in turning around the position of the market, your company, you are now focusing more on developing, focusing your marketing strategy on developing local potential. Yes. And I think that to us is also a welcome plan. You promised, or at least indicated, that you are very hopeful of success during the year. I think that will be a share note also to your shareholders. And the promise that you intend to reverse the laws that we are reporting this year, I believe would also be well received. But more importantly also is the fact that your technical advisor has also underlined the fact that they are going to be with you through the thin and the high of this market, and that they will continue to support you. Marriott, through their representative, Mr. Rex A. Nijefer, has also assured the market that Marriott is here to stay for the long haul. and that they are there to back you up, to support you, to see you through the challenging period. You've made the fact that the challenging period is not just limited to you, it's both national and international challenges. But you have been able to manage the challenges in a way that you are very hopeful of the future. These are very encouraging and cheerful words from you. And the market will take those words very seriously. Your shareholders also will take those words very seriously. And they will use those words and those promises that you are giving as our benchmark for monitoring your quarterly performances in the year 2021. Like I have told you, the stockbroking community and the Nigerian Stock Exchange are always delighted to also partner with companies like yourself when you are going through challenging period and you come out with a plan to overcome that. We will be ready to support you. Your broker, your issuing houses, the stock exchange, everybody will be ready to rally around you with a plan, a hopeful plan, and very strong indication and positive indication that you have given. So I will ask you to please continue to be as close as possible. Share details of some of these plans that you have outlined with your issuing house and your broker. And as you are monitoring them and they're translating into positive results, continue to keep the market informed so that we can continue also to reflect the changes in your action appropriately in the market. We are very thankful. We will be working closely with you. We will be monitoring your performance against the assurances that you are giving us today. Please do not hesitate to come and do more fact behind the figure. The more you keep us informed, the more you take us as your partner in progress, the better for both of us. And it is on that note that I want to congratulate you for a very cheering and encouraging positive presentation. And I'm sure your shareholder will also react positively accordingly. Thank you for the presentation. We look forward to working closely with you to realize your promises. Thank you and welcome once more.
Thank you, Bill.
Thank you very much, Alhaji Yusuf, for those very inspiring words. We are now a few seconds away from market closure, and I would like to hand this over to Mr. Bolmole to coordinate the closing on ceremony.
Thank you, Toby. Thank you, Mr. Natufo. Thank you, Mr. Rex. And Alhaji Yusuf, thank you as always for your words of wisdom for Ikeja Hotels. Ikeja Hotels has always used the platform to communicate to the market. May I invite Mr. Natufo to close the market now, please? Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, that familiar sound is what you would have heard on the trading floor to signify the end of another successful trading day. I want to congratulate the management and the team from Ikeja Hotel PLC for a successful hosting of the facts behind the figures. Welcome to the exchange, and we trust that you will continue to use the exchange to communicate your business strategies and your plans to your various stakeholders. I would like to also thank other participants and all our invited guests that joined us on Zoom and on YouTube. Thank you for joining us this afternoon. This event is now ended. I wish you all a safe journey and do continue to stay safe in this rather interesting times that we live in. Thank you very much.